In this week's module, the module talked about making a great first impression. In this module, it helps us to prepare for successful job interviews. The main goal of the module is teach us how to present ourselves in a professionally, explain our experiences clearly, and stand out to others, like compared to others. One of the first ideas that is emphasized in the module is that interviewers are not only looking for people that are just answering questions, but that are taking the interview as an opportunity to prove to them why they're the best candidate for the position. And that in the module it explains that you should not only rely on the interviewer to try to figure out your strengths on their own, but instead you should be actively communicating your skills, experience, and any values that you have, that you might think that you have. In the module, it introduces many different strategies to prepare for an interview. The first strategy is identifying repetitive topics, which means building a professional connection with the interviewer and the company before the interview itself. So, for example, before an interview, you might want to do some research on maybe the company's products, services, their values, and any recent accomplishments or any projects that are currently going on. And you also want to look up some research on the interviewer that you're interviewing with. Like maybe you might want to go on their LinkedIn or any professional profiles that explains their achievements, their education, their hobbies, any goals. You want to build that connection with the interviewer and with the company. This shows that you did some research with the company, and this shows that you're not only there just for a job. An example of this is, let's say a company recently won an award or not launching a new product, and if you, by you mentioning this during the interview, this shows that you look at the company more as more than just a job, but you're passionate about the company itself, and this will prove to them, this will show that you care much more than just a job. Uh, another main concept, another main concept that another main strategy that the module explains is to deconstruct the job description. So in many job descriptions, it contains a long list of qualifications, responsibilities, and in the module, it explains that you should focus on identifying the most important requirements and matching them with your own experiences. So, in the module, it recommends to select three or five key responsibilities of the job description, and and to provide information about your experiences to fill in these key five responsibilities of the job description. Even if you don't clearly fit the description, you can have an alternative experience and explain that during the interview, why how you fill these requirements. Another another t- um Another strategy that it recommends in the module is using the STAR method, which stands for situation, task, action, and results. This method helps candidates to organize their answers in a clear and professional way. Um, First, obviously, being situation, you're explaining any context or the challenge that you faced. The next is the task, describes your responsibility and goal of the situation. Then is the action. This is where you explain your specific steps you took to solve the problem. And finally, you want to provide the results. You're highlighting the positive outcomes or achievements that you accomplished at the end of the problem. The STAR method shows how you contribute to success of a project or a situation that happens to the interviewer. And another strategy that the module explains is to prepare for difficult interviewing questions that you might face. Um, for example, let's say the interviewer asks you, What are your strengths and weaknesses? Tell me about yourself. These are very common, hard questions to answer. Um, and being able to answer these questions confidently and naturally will show that you prepared and that you're able to face any challenge that you might face during the job itself. And it's very important. I mean, a very important point that that we learned is that you don't need to sound perfect or sound like you memorize a script, but instead you want to sound like you're comfortable with the situation, comfortable talking to the interviewer. Um, another Another thing is overall the module teaches us how to present ourselves and have a strong impression for the interview. It provides us to it makes us do a research of the company and provide relevant experiences. And that preparing is very important because it will make you more prepared and sound more professional and make you sound like you're meant for the job. So in conclusion, making a good impression is very important, and that this is an important topic, and that we need to and you gotta do as much as possible to stand out to other competitors to get a good chance for earning a internship or a future job that you might want to have. That's it. Thank you.